I think you're right on that front. I just think reform and Nigel. This isn't the first time that the establishment has wheeled out Nigel Farage as a right wing alternative. If we go back to the British National Party under Nick Griffin, there was a lot of bad eggs in that party that gave them a really bad public image. Yeah, but for a long time they were the only option. And then what did we see? They started winning council seats. They got over 50 elected councillors at all levels over the country. They got seats on the Greater London Assembly. They got 2 seats in the European Parliament, and the establishment didn't know what to do. Reform goes on. We got 4 million votes in the recent general election. When in 2009, the BNP got 2 million votes across the whole country. They really freaked out the establishment. Well, we're going to have to do something now, right? And what they did was it was 100% effective. Is let's give the people a controlled opposition option. So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they rolled out Nigel Farage and UKIP, the old UKIP, and it was just wall to wall, 24/7. Nigel Farage, UKIP, Nigel Farage,
Mm.
UKIP, and it worked because the voters that previously voted BNP out of frustration then
Mm.
started voting for UKIP just because they were being promoted on the TVs,
Mm.
and it destroyed the BNP. They were
Mm.
getting millions of votes. They got massive momentum, and then it was killed stone dead because the establishment rolled out Nigel Farage and UKIP as a safer option, as controlled opposition. And then all those millions of votes then transferred over into UKIP. It destroyed the BNP. But there's a thing called the law of unintended consequences, and I don't think the establishment's quite got this yet. Is that and they don't seem to get it. Like when they imprison Tommy Robinson, for example, they're actually making him a martyr. They don't realise what they're doing. They're making him a martyr. They're making him stronger and garnering him more support when they throw him in prison. They might delay him temporarily, but they are making him to a bigger threat down the road by treating him harshly at the moment. So when the establishment rolled out UKIP back in 2011, UKIP started to gather real momentum and unstoppable. There was like a steamroller. And then all of a sudden, they put so much pressure on the Tories that the Tories then had to promise the people a referendum on the EU because they'd created this monster called UKIP and Nigel Farage to quash the BNP threat. But the law of unintended consequences was that Nigel Farage and UKIP were getting so much support. They were putting so much pressure on the Tories. The Tories had to promise the people an EU referendum, and they lost that referendum.
Yeah.
And they lost their grip of the situation because all of a sudden we had Brexit.